Salford Jets, I'm Mike Sweeney, the lead singer, Stuart on guitar, Dick and Eric Faulkner from the Bay City Rollers. He's our she and Michelle. We won't do all the singing that. We formed the band in '76 like a lot of the punk bands, and got our first record deal end of '77, and first single came out beginning of '78. Walking down the town looking at the squares. We've done, I think we did about 4 years. We finished around 1980, 81-ish, and this is the first time that we played together for about 15 years, something like that. Good word, crikey. It's 20 years since we actually formed the band.
So, can you tell me a little bit about the atmosphere and the general vibe, what's going around when the band first started?
Well, when we first started, I think that particular time everybody was dead innocent. I mean, we were quite old for a punk band, to be honest. Obviously, Eric wasn't. I mean, we were all in our late 20s really around that time. Some of the guys were in the mid 20s from the band, but I'm not saying that. I think that was still valid. I mean, we only found out later on that like 999 and the Stranglers and UK Subs were all older than us anyway, you know, and the Clash weren't that far behind. It just gave bands generally freedom, you know, to work in an environment that hadn't existed prior to that. It was all silly heavy rock bands, you know what I mean? And it gave bands a chance to play what they wanted to play their own material as well.
Okay.
You're asking the question.
So, presuming people who get to watch this know nothing about punk, nothing about what's going on this weekend, how would you explain to them what's going on here?
I said to the audience today that it's not to do with, it's not nostalgia, it's not a punk revival, it's rock and roll music, and it's rock and roll music's always been there. I am annoyed that the sort of conventional music press have totally ignored us. We might as well not be here. What do you go?
Well, the thing is, in the 70s, punk wasn't just a new thing. Punk was a shot in the arm for rock and roll. That's what it was. It was to make everybody get out of that, oh God, we don't sound like Deep Purple shit, you know what I mean? Like, and what punk did was, even though at the time I was not part of it, it just gave rock and roll a shot in the arm and it brought it down to the street level, which is what we were doing anyway. And I think the Salford Jets was like, I didn't call it punk, I think it was street rock and roll.
Eddie, you had the... I've got to ask Eddie. You had at that time, you had number one after number one. How did you see punk at that time?
It was good, because it was just bands, young guys. Couldn't play.
So was you really? You was part of the Bay City Rollers?
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah,
You all of them.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Can you tell us about, you know, that's quite a contradiction to what punk was trying to do. I mean, how do you feel about being a part of
Well, I
both
don't
of
know.
it?
I've seen a magazine thing that was saying it was a Ramones thing. They were saying that they want to be basically Rollers in America. The guy Blondie, the records coming out. So there was a lot of talent. I mean, it was just we were 74, 75. Punk was 76.
I mean, Eric's right with that. I remember being in a band around like 74, 75, and the girls coming up to us afterwards and saying, "Oh, we've got like we're following the Bay City Rollers when they very first started having the hits, and we think like you not look the same, but the same attitude to a certain extent." I thought it was brilliant. I'll be honest with you, because like I just wanted girls to scream at me. I did, you know what I mean? I mean that was the ultimate. I mean, I was like, you see, really pissed off when he got all the screamers and that. Even
still do now.
Even now I've met him all these years on. Now we're friends. I still hate it.
Prior to punk, these guys were the biggest thing in the world.
They were
Absolutely the biggest thing in the world.
No, I think like that's right. Like in '74, like 2 years before the punk, there was the glam, a lot of American guys, and we were one of the first young new British guys to play. And then you had and that was a thing. Don't take it back to being just guys in the hotel without the makeup, just if you've got a big wing on, doing everything, sort of frills like this. And punk was actually the best thing that ever happened to the British music business.
Yeah.
It was shot in the arm.
It was
The shot in the arm was like a drug. It was like a.
I mean, it was
like a-
self-destructive.
If you want
Nature of the beast, though, wasn't
if
it?
you want an interesting little hybrid between the Rollers and punk bands, you ought to have a look at videos of a band called Slick. And Midge Ure was in Slick, and they were a Scottish band, and they were sort of a teen band, but with credibility, and in a way they were almost a bridge. It's very interesting. The number one in 1976, but if you'd have looked at the band, they all had like sort of tight pants on, not flares, and baseball boots and stuff like that. I remember thinking, watching Slick, that they'd done something that was unusual. And I mean, they tend to sort of, I say Midge Ure was the lead singer in Slick.
Well, the thing is, I remember being in, sorry to keep I remember being in New York in 74, 75, and the guy down the fields was there, the 16 magazine, which was like their big teen thing. And Danny was showing us videos of the New York Dolls and stuff like that. And that was, it was almost, I know, I want the punk was in that Iggy, what kind of thing.
Underground, all those bands.
Wayne, and used to dress up
Wayne County, yeah.
It was all that American New York, like sleaze scumbag scene. Which punk got a lot of that, and they got a lot of the youngest from like the pop bands.
For a brief moment in time, I bring the Cartel and all the major record labels. Very, very brief moment in time. I swiftly realised that looking back over
About a year and a half, that's all. But for a year and a bit it did it, you're right.
They broke the monopoly. They had. And all these little record labels came on, like Raven Records, Wilty John, and all the rest of them. And just for a little while.
We'd have never got a record deal without punk, ever. Not a chance. Not writing songs about, I mean, I was writing songs about cars, motorbikes, relationships, fun out of fighting. Like young men fighting other young men. What do you like? You know, who's going to give you a record deal? A song about people fighting in the street? Nobody. So, there we are. It's been a great weekend.
Moving on to the beginning of this year, how did you react when you heard the Pistols were reforming?
Great.
I think it's a,
Yeah, great.
I was underwhelmed.
I think it's a great idea. And again, the press crucified them. I mean, they've had one good review. Well, even the good reviews have been done reluctantly. And one of the isms that we're not allowed, that you're allowed to take away this, we're not allowed racism and sexism, and you're not allowed to ridicule people because they don't look perfect. Tell you what, you can take the piss out of anybody if they're older. No, I find that. Don't take the piss out of me because I'm like 40 odd years old. We'll get in my face and do it. But I tell you what, that's out of order. Because we all grow old. I hear people now saying they preface something and the criticism is prefaced with old or boring old. You think, hang on a minute, come here. No, Jesus Christ, how dare you? Your ism, you're allowed that ism. I'm older than you, so you know better. And what I'm doing is worthless, and that's crap.
It's not age,
It's ageism, though.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's attitude to things that you have. That's what it should be. The other thing is to think that with punk is very much an attitude and a strange bedfellow, and I like with it because, of course, all the ska and reggae music. If you're confident to me, but maybe when you were in it.
Like specials and bands like that, Madness and all that was all part of it.
Yeah.
And the Selector and...
You know, but reggae music in general, Jamaica or all these ska bands, I mean, the two things, it's strange managed, isn't it? Ska and reggae and this sort of punk thing, but the attitude was the same. It was always protest type. It's a protest type of music. It always has been. We're getting a bit old for all now because we go on put our slippers on, you know what I mean? Have a couple.
Not necessarily so.
Well, if you can afford coca, yeah.
So what do you make of the bands that come along sort of 1980, 81, there was bands like GBH, Exploited, they was a lot more hardcore than the 76 wave.
You mean like the oi scene, don't you?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, their credibility, I'm not going to lessen their credibility, but you've got to see them as being like a second generation thing. I mean...
That became, as broke to a movement, they created a movement which in many ways was actually quite racist and quite right-wing as well. And I don't think that was right. I mean, you can't stick things in the past because it's overlapping all the time. There's always overlapping.
They always remind me of the Metallica end of heavy metal, when I can listen to somebody say like AC/DC or a Def Leppard, we look like a Metallica. They are the GBH and the exploited of the heavy metal scene, and they are GBH and bands like that are that sort of an offspring of punk. I mean, I don't see that as proper punk. I see it as almost. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's pantomime punk.
Yeah, well, I mean, like in the late 70s, you had punk music. Like in the late 80s and then early 90s, you got cyber. And as soon as you start putting these, prefixes to them, you know what I mean, the terminology and the music as well, and the attitude was out. Because then it's all about image and what you're doing, and I just don't think that's what punk was about. Punk was in your face, fuck off your bastard music, and that was end of story.
I can identify with that. All right, please, sorry.
So what was what was the best thing that came out of punk?
What, for us or
for you personally?
For us personally, the chance to get a record deal.
I think the fear for it, especially so, we never have had. Never have had that with the establishment, i.e. the major record companies. We never have got that. Neither of most people who do it. Never have got that. No. Never.
I agree with you. And if you said to us which band, I mean, I thought the Clash was as good a rock and roll band as there ever was. So there we are. Yeah. That's what came out of it musically.
So what do you?
And it also, and at the time there was lots of bands striving for this perfect sound, and as little as I liked it, I found myself doing the same thing. And then when punk happened, even though I wasn't really part of the major punk thing, the edge that it gave the music was where I actually lived, because I liked that sort of aggressive sound, and I hated that perfection that people were giving to music, and that's the legacy that I enjoyed from punk music. It just gave us we could go on and we could be raw, and that's all I ever wanted to be, real, raw.
And we did this afternoon,
yes.
on and did it.
The other thing I love about punk bands is no one can read a note of music really. That's great.
You didn't seem to have a very big audience this afternoon.
No, you know why, don't you?
No.
Because we were like, only other band was on the other room.
Bad time.
Because we're crap.
We should.
Yeah, could be that as well.
We should have gone on about 4 o'clock. By the time we went on, Jane County was on in the other room. But I mean, the people that were there when we were on, they all stayed and some more came in and they got into the songs, and that's all that matters. I mean, we're not there, it's not a star thing.
You're a DJ.
Yeah.
So you sort of think that you sort of fit into all this scene. You must make your megawatts for a DJ.
I'd like to make more megawatts than I'm making. I should be making more than I am. Gives me a chance to better than driving a truck for a living, which is what I was doing before I formed the Jets.
Yeah, but you only became a DJ after the Jets.
The Jets led to me getting on the radio. It's funny enough. My gripe with it at the moment is I don't earn the sort of money that everybody thinks I wish I did. But I mean,
So you seem pretty clued up on the music scene still. Do you follow it?
well, yeah, they do, you see. I mean, you just do, don't you? I wouldn't say I was don't particularly like dance music, but I know all the sort of guitar bands around at the moment, Cast and the Boo Radleys and Dodgy and the Cardigans, and I know what they're playing, and I quite like a lot of the stuff they're doing.
I think a lot of them they're still borrowing, it's like Oasis or Westwood down the road from them. There's like we go up to, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with it, we all borrow them.
Yeah, of course you do. When we started playing, we grew up with all the Mersey and the Manchester bands like the Hollies, etc. We were young kids and we learned culture all the time. We covered a lot of stuff. And now we find a lot of bands like Oasis who have a more attitude than maybe we did then, because everything was big, proper rave magazine, rave, you've got a joke, I mean, it's like, read like Woman's Own to that, you know what I mean, it's the same sort of thing.
The Good Housekeeping magazine.
They rely very heavily on Blur and Pulp, all the rest of them rely very heavily on music in the 60s, which we did because we grew up with it. A lot of that comes into punk, a lot of the stuff we did, and other bands do, comes out in punk in a more aggressive way, but they're doing that now. I don't even ever Max Migraines. I don't like it, can't stand it. But good ones, you make a living out of this business. They're great, fabulous, definitely. They ain't easy.
Amen.
Amen.
So, finally, in as few words as possible,
And finally,
what does punk mean to you?
I think the end of one era, the beginning of another, and I think it's done a lot for, I think it changed the music pattern from now on in. I think a lot of it's been sort of reclaimed again. It's always been run by accountants and guys and officers who can't play a bloody note of music. They have no idea. And the people out there actually doing it, they always get the hardest bit. But I think it has changed, and I think that's great. I think it changed for the better. It had to change for the better.
I think it's part of the true spirit of rock and roll. When I listen to punk music, it reminds me of Elvis's stuff in '54 and '55, and a very young Gene Vincent, very naive, young bands playing with like the very first electric guitars.
It made music as well much more accessible to everybody.
Spirit of rock and roll.
If you watch a very old film, you say something like the old guys in America, like Little Richard. There's a great film in about 1958, and he's playing for this very, very broken white audience. They're all sat on the with one dresses on, like that, and he bows and all that. You know, that's all wrong, and that's great. That's so true.
Punk to me is attitude. It's an attitude that really didn't have anything to do with music when it started. But it sort of cut out the middlemen, the managers, the guys in the suits, and then the guys with the guitars that sold the tellers to get the guitars, got on stage and did the stuff, and didn't give a shit about anything else.
In a very strange perverse way, it's always going back to Espresso Bongo when the guy said, hey guys, it's all this, let's have a show here. Let's do it up, let's get all the kids in. I'll tell you what,
two guitars and then just do it.
Just do it good.
Right. Okay?
That's fine, yeah.